How's it going, everyone? My name's Lionel, and welcome to my darling. We spend an evening with the perfect boyfriend. Nothing sus is gonna happen here, right? Well, we all know how my games normally go. Okay. What's my name? My name's Lionel. Welcome home. This is my boyfriend, Takuya. We've been together for 5 years, and we couldn't be more in love. Every day when I come home from work, he greets me with a radiant smile and rushes to prepare dinner. Everything about him puts me at ease. His presence, his sweet words, all of it. I couldn't live without him. Good evening, my darling. I see you wearing the apron I got you. You notice? Yeah, I like it a lot. Well, I like it better if you were just wearing the apron, Takuya. I'm pretty sure someone's already made fan art of that. Good. I lean in close and whisper in his ear. It looks great on you. Don't tease me like that. He's absolutely adorable. Sorry, I couldn't help it. Anyway, let me take your things. He takes my bag and my jacket. Dinner will be ready soon, so just put your feet up in the living room for a bit, okay? It sounds wonderful. Let me grab my phone real quick. I dig through my pockets, but I can't find it. Takuya studies me with a strange expression. I have no idea where I could have left it. Ah, darn. I want to read the news. Don't worry about it. I actually went out and bought you today's paper. Oh my god, you're such a sweetie! He pops into the living room and returns with the newspapers in hand. Here. Wow, thank you. You really think of everything, Takuya. You're welcome. I've noticed that you start reading the news whenever you get home these days. I try to pay attention to that stuff. So from now on, every day, I'll make sure I get you the latest issue. All these screens nowadays, they're poison to human relationships. Stress, the addiction, the isolation. Those things can ruin a couple, you know? Yeah, I know. You told me 1,000 times, love. It's why I got rid of the TV and our computers too. I'm not trying to nag you. It just seems like maybe you'd forgotten. We don't need those gadgets in our lives. Besides, the only person I really care about is you, Lionel. I don't need to worry about anyone else. You always butter me up when you're trying to change the subject. You're lucky that you're so charming, Taku. I said don't tease me! He pouts, and that cute boyish expression completely melts my heart. Fine, I'll behave. I'll go wait for you in the living room, okay? Do you need anything to drink? A lemonade will be lovely, thanks. I sit on the chair and start reading the newspaper. Cutting down on tech had been Takuya's idea, and while it had been hard at first, I've grown used to it. I can't even remember the last time I used a computer. I just got used to not having one around, and I don't even miss it anymore. Then again, I forgot a lot of things. It's probably because of my amnesia. When Takuya first told me, I was shocked. Something about hearing my boyfriend's voice telling me that all my memories were gone. It felt as if the whole world were falling to pieces around me. Someone who can't remember their past just can never remember themselves or even the people around them, like Takuya. I don't remember how we met or where we went on our first date. The years we spent as a couple might as well not exist from my perspective. To me, our history is just one big blank mark, blotting out all the details that make up our love. It saddens me to think how Takuya must feel, knowing all those precious memories were washed away. Sometimes I'm so stressful that I just burst into tears for no apparent reason. Whenever that happens, Takuya takes me into his arms and strokes my hair gently. He tells me that he loves me, even in my condition. He says that he'll never abandon me or let me go. Sometimes he says it over and over, as if trying to calm those words into my failing memory. His sheer dedication sometimes leaves me speechless. I can't believe how lucky I am to have him. Still, there's this nagging feeling deep down. A certain je ne sais quoi that passes through my heart whenever I see his face. I can't tell him about it though. He'd be heartbroken. Here you go. Takuya enters the living room, holding a glass of lemonade. He sets it gently down on the coffee table. I found some straws, so I put one in for you. It looks cute, right? It's even your favorite color. Takuya. I tongue on his apron, pulling him down to kiss him. Thank you so much for staying with me. Lionel. I can feel myself tearing up, so I bury my face into his chest. I don't want him to see me crying. He embraces me and we stay like that for a moment. I'm sorry I'm always like this. Don't say that. Honestly, sometimes I wish we never had to spend a moment apart, but I also need you to be happy, love. If you're ever feeling sad or hurt, I want you to feel like you can open up to me. He squeezes me hard and I feel his heart beat fast. Finally, he moves his face away and kisses me in turn. I need to go check on the food for a bit. Stay here and relax, okay? You don't need to worry about anything right now. At 7 p.m., we eat. Takuya made nikujaga, an amazing beef and potato stew. Oh man, I need some beef stew. Even the smell is intoxicating. It smells so good. Just wait until you taste it, love. Takuya grabs my spoon, scooping up delicate morsels from my bowl. He blows on it gently, then positions the spoon in front of my face. Oh, you. I lean forward a little and take a bite. I'm overwhelmed by the stew's rich, warming flavor. Delicious! Really? I'm happy. We both start eating. You really have a gift for cooking. Well, I like to cook for you. Working hard to create the right flavors, imagining the look on your face when you get to taste it, it makes me want to put everything I have with these meals. Well, this sounds like I'm set for life. Takuya smiles as he watches me finish my food. Just be sure not to leave any leftovers. If you do, I'll be sad. You're underestimating just how much I can eat, you know. By the time I'm done, the bowl is practically spotless. That was amazing, Takuya. Thank you so much for making this. Takuya smiles at me warmly, his eyes shining with affection. I'm lucky to have a boyfriend who takes good care of me. Anyone who wouldn't would be a pretty bad boyfriend if you ask me. You're supposed to look after the person you love. I know, but it's almost too good to be true sometimes. Do you not like how I treat you? That's not what I meant. My voice trails off as I notice his crestfallen expression. Lionel, yeah? Do you really love me? You really can't tell how I feel? I'm just worried that this won't last forever. Because of my amnesia? Yeah, but if one day you wake up and don't even recognize me, I could never forget you, Takuya. You're too important to me. I put my hand on his. Thank you. Takuya gets on his feet and starts collecting the plates. I'll clean up. I didn't have time to prepare dessert, but let me see what I can whip up. Or maybe we could go upstairs and share another kind of treat. Oh my! Oh, Takuya's blushing! Don't just stand there staring. Come on, I'll help you clean up. Okay. He heads into the kitchen. I clear the table and get ready to follow him, but suddenly... Ooh, wobbly. So wobbly. I stumble and catch myself against the edge of the table. I feel so dizzy. My head is spinning right now. What's wrong with me? Am I sick or... I need to wake myself up. Maybe I should go to the bathroom to splash some water on my face. I take the stairs one step at a time, clinging to the banister. As I reach the second floor, my limbs feel so heavy that I can barely even move. Come on, just a little effort. I feebly push at the bathroom door. Yeah, I half collapse against the sink. Once the water starts to flow, I scoop small, shaky handfuls and splash them against my skin. When I look up at the mirror, I see the face of a ghost. I look terrible right now. Just where did this even come from? It was fine a few minutes ago. A thick, sour odor cuts through my thoughts, a smell so bad that it's almost sobering. Usually I can't smell it when I'm in the bathroom. Takuya says it's got something to do with the plumbing, and that he'll fix it when he can. I really hope that when he can is sooner rather than later. The smell is making me nauseous. I reach behind and grab a nearby towel, but I end up knocking it into the bathtub. I sigh and lean forward, placing a hand against the wall. Suddenly, somehow it shakes beneath my touch. There's a loud thud, like something struck the wall below. And before I pull away, the plaster buckles inwards. What? I stare open-mouthed at a huge hole that's appeared in the bathroom wall. What did I do? I peer closer. It looks like this hole has been here for a while, and that whoever lived here before us had rushed to patch it up. Now that I'm looking more closely, I can even tell that the paint around the hole is a different shade of yellow than the rest of the wall. How has neither of us even noticed that? I need to tell Takuya about this right away. But how did the wall even get damaged like that? I stop in my tracks, turning to look at the hole. Moments later, I brace my hands against the wall and lean forward to look inside. What's in the hole? At first, I don't see anything. That strange, sickening sweet odor is even stronger than it was outside. This must be where the problem is. I can even hear the pipes buzzing metallically. As my eyes adjust to the light, I can just about see their silhouettes, and then I see what else is in there. Ooh! Deeper in the darkness, I see the outline of a person. The arms, legs, head, and torso, but none of them are in the right places. I recognize a human figure, inanimate. A corpse. Ah! I I recoil, tripping over my own feet. There, Takuya! Takuya! There's a dead man in the walls! My vision goes black. The last thing I hear are footsteps. Takuya! Oh, we're back in my room. I wake up with a jolt. A nightmare? I rub my eyes. I'm sitting in our bed, my cold, clammy body covered with sweat. What time is it? Where's Takuya? With some difficulty, I drag myself out of bed. Right now, the only thing I care about is finding Takuya. I take a deep breath and step out into the hallway. Ah! I almost crashed right into Takuya. Takuya! Have you seen the man in the wall? I don't think he should be there. Takuya takes my shoulder, gently pushing me back into the bedroom. What's up? Are you feeling better? I think so. What happened to me? Well, after you offered to help me clean up, when I came to check on you, you were passed out on the sofa. I figured out you must have been so exhausted, so I carried you up here. But I will admit, you look a lot better now. So I'm glad. Takuya, I had a terrible nightmare. I was in the bathroom and that awful smell had come back. The wall melted and there was this body. Lionel, there's nothing wrong with the bathroom. You're just exhausted from work, that's all. But tears begin to flow down my cheeks. Takuya, what's wrong with me? I feel like I'm losing my mind. Takuya pulls me into a hug, crushing me against his chest. I'm crazy, aren't I? No, you're not crazy, love. Just try calm down, please. Everything will be alright. Promise. His words ring hollow in my ears. Listen, you need more sleep. If you lie down and wait for me, I'll be right back to hold you once I'm done with the dishes. I raise my eyes, surprised. You're worried about the dishes right now? A messy house can cause messy thoughts. I need to make sure you don't have anything that could distract or disturb you. Nothing he's saying makes sense. Please don't leave me alone, Takuya. Don't make a scene. He's being unusually strict about this. I pull away, and a heavy silence settles between us. Don't be so down, love. I've even brought you something to help you relax. I don't want it. He looks at me, surprised. Take your medicine, sweetie. You know you need it. Medicine? I said no! Damn it, Lionel! Why are you shouting at me like that? Takuya doesn't respond. Fine. If you don't want to listen to me, go ahead. He leaves the room. I'm so shocked by his behavior. He's never been this aggressive with me before. Has he? I hear a soft click. I scramble towards the door to try to open it. What? It's locked. Takuya? No answer. There's no way he'd do that. No, there's no way he would just lock me in my own room. I bang my fist against the door, but he still doesn't answer. Why is he acting like this all of a sudden? Did I do something wrong? Let me get out of here and talk to him. I go to the desk and start opening the drawers. Even with my amnesia, there are still certain things that are still deeply ingrained in me. It's like muscle memory. Riding a bike, tying my shoelaces, picking a lock. How do I know how to pick a lock? I don't know how to pick a lock. I just know how to break it open. Even though I could remember when or how I learned these things, I could still do them instinctively. Now, what can I use as the lockpick? Well, hairpin. That's exactly what I... Wait, hang on. What happens if I pick a calculator? How's that gonna help me? Okay. Hairpin. That's exactly what I need. I unbend the hairpin and slip it into the lock. After a while, I hear the tumblers click. It worked! I quietly open the door and go out into the hallway. Ooh. I'm not sure what I'll say to Takuya, but I know we need to talk. There's a strange rhythmic sound coming from downstairs. That's right, he said he was doing the dishes. I glance towards the bathroom door. There's no way I'm going back in there. I make my way downstairs. The sooner I can ask Takuya what's going on, the better. I pause on the bottom step for a moment. I can hear the sound more clearly now, although it doesn't sound like someone washing dishes. What on earth is he doing? I know he mentioned something about dessert, but it almost sounds like he's chopping up vegetables. This doesn't make any sense. He's probably chopping up the body. Like, that's probably the deal. I start to hit my way towards the kitchen, but my body freezes mid-step. Takuya was so angry earlier. Should I really be bothering him? What am I thinking? He locked me up in our bedroom. No matter how he's feeling, he needs to apologize. My sudden indignation propels me forward. I pull the door open as hard as I can. Takuya, you better have a good... My voice dies in my throat. Oh. Hi. What's with all the blood? His clothes are drenched with blood, and he's holding a kitchen knife. Takuya darts towards me. Lionel, I told you to stay upstairs. You need to get out of here. Now! Sorry, too late. I could see what's laying on the cutting board. An arm. I shove Takuya away from me, choking down the bile in my throat. The entire kitchen is awash in a thick, metallic stench of blood. The room that my boyfriend always cleaned so diligently is stained with human wreckage. My God! Several large, oddly bulging garbage bags are strewn out across the hardwood floor. What's all this? Please, don't freak out. I can explain everything. Just give me a chance. Before you lost your memories, you had a stalker. He was a disgusting human being, but you were too nice to really stand up to him. So I decided to step in and take care of things. His fingers tightened around his knife's handle as he spat those last few words. But now it's okay. I fixed it for you. I can't believe what I'm hearing. I feel like I've woken up inside some awful horror movie. But it's really happening. My sweet, loving boyfriend is standing right there, smiling that same boyish smile, even while there's blood drying on his cheek. You murdered someone? I had to. What are you, psychotic? My whole body is shaking. I feel hot and cold and numb all over. I can't even move. Takuya's eyes darken. Don't call me that. It's hurtful. I did what I do for your sake. You know that. I stagger backwards, still shaking. Adrenaline surges through my veins. Before I know it, I'm sprinting towards the front door. All I can think of is getting away. I hear footsteps thundering behind me, and I dive into the nearest doorway to avoid being tackled. I regret it instantly. The living room has one exit, and it's the one I just came in through. I dash to the other side of the coffee table, hoping I could use it as some distance between Takuya and I. Lionel, come here. No, stop! Don't take another step towards me, you hear? He doesn't even react. With his height, it barely takes 2 strides for him to reach me. I duck away and charge back into the hallway. I dash towards the door, my legs moving as fast as I can. But a large hand clamps down on my arm. Just where do you think you're going, huh? The look on his face is terrifying. He yanks me towards him, but I manage to wriggle off his grasp and dart up the staircase. Where will I go? I will go into the bathroom where I can slip into the walls! Into the back rooms! The bathroom seems like my best bet right now. As soon as I enter, the supposedly imaginary hole is staring at me. Except now, it's much bigger. I knew I wasn't dreaming. The thundering of Takuya's footsteps snaps me back to my senses. I grab a hairdryer off the shelf, huddled against the wall. Outside, I hear Takuya opening the bedroom door. My heart hammers in my chest, and I cover my mouth to muffle my shaky sobs. After a few moments, I hear the bedroom door reopen and Takuya's footsteps move closer. He's headed straight for the bathroom now. My body stiffens. I didn't lock the door. I lunge towards the handle, but before I can do anything, the door swings open, knocking me back. Takuya enters. Being on the other side of the door, Takuya doesn't see me right away. Without hesitating, I throw myself towards him and bring the dryer down to his head. Ah! I'm already bolting back towards the stairs. Something clamps around my ankle and I fall. The thick carpet does nothing to soften the impact as I slam into the floor. What? I turn around. Lionel. Takuya is lying a few feet away, his fingers digging into my leg like the teeth of a bear trap. He looks at me like a wounded dog, his chocolate-colored eyes white with betrayal. You hit me. Yeah, I did. Like, what do you think I was gonna do? With his insane strength, it doesn't take long for Takuya to drag me downstairs, kicking and screaming. He holds me down, binding my arms and legs with thin layers of rope. I tried to call for help, to ask him why he's doing all this, but he just wads up a few tissues and shoved them deep into my mouth. As I lie on the floor, I watch the man I once called my boyfriend putting various objects into a crumpled cardboard box. The personal effects of the victim, I guess. Takuya stops and looks at me. Sorry if I roughed you up a bit back there. I need to make sure you couldn't wander off. I think once we have a nice, long heart-to-heart, you'll feel much better about this whole misunderstanding. He returns to his task, closing up the box once he's finished. He walks back over to me. I'm starting to hyperventilate with fear. He must be fierce with me right now. I can see it in your eyes, If only we can go back to this morning. Everything was perfect then, don't you think? We were both so happy. He was right, but how could that sweet, kind man be the same person I'm looking at right now? This filthy piece of human trash just had to go and ruin everything. Just who is that man? The one whose blood is soaking into our carpet? What happened to me before today, and why couldn't I remember it? Even as a corpse, he's ruining our lives. I guess I just have to keep going until there's nothing left of him. I'm sorry you had to see this, Lev. It must be upsetting for someone as kind and beautiful as you. But don't worry. I'll make sure it never happens again. After all, you're my soulmate, Lionel. The person who means more to me than anything. Lev, isn't there a single thing in this world that I wouldn't do to make you happy? He moves closer, brushing my hair out of my face. With a gentle, painstaking care, he pulls the ball of tissue out of my mouth. I love you so much. He leans in to kiss me. I don't know you! What? He takes a step back. You're not my boyfriend! You're some kind of sick kidnapper! What are you saying? You're looking at me like... Oh! Like you're sober, sweetie. Don't tell me your morning medicine's wearing off this fast. If I up the dosage much more, well... Takuya's face is unrecognizable. His soft, gentle smile has been replaced with a deranged smirk. You're twisted, you a-hole! Oh, you can call me as many nasty things as you like, dear. After all, this is how you used to talk to me, right? Yeah, that's true. Even as muddy as my thoughts are right now, I can still pick out small fragments of memory that's rising to the surface. What did he feed me with? In my mind, I see a man whose strong, comforting arms are wrapped around me, but it's not Takuya. All memories begin to emerge. The first time we met, a small cafe on a cold afternoon. The last time we went to a beach together, laughing as we chased each other across the sand. Slowly, his face comes into focus, and I remember what he looked like. Specifically, I remember what he looked like when I found his body in that hole. A rotting, sunken face, covered with thick, jagged gashes, maggots wriggling into every rotting wound. Ew! Oh, God! Seiji! When I come back to my senses, my cheeks are soaked with hot, salty tears. Takuya is still watching me. How could you? You took him from me! You ruined my life! Ah, don't be so silly. He was the one who was making you miserable. I saw it. Besides, once he was gone, you were happier with me. I know you're not thinking straight right now, but deep down, you know that I helped you. You killed my boyfriend! Don't call him that. He didn't deserve you. Don't you remember, love? A boyfriend who doesn't treat you right isn't really a boyfriend at all. He's just a worthless creep. You killed Seiji, and then you tricked me into thinking I had amnesia. Well, it wasn't entirely a trick. I had to do something to make sure you wouldn't get hung up on those unfortunate details. So I bought some medicine. Very expensive medicine, but it was worth it. Watching you wolf down my cooking, thinking about all those wonderful little chemicals surging through your veins. Even now, it makes me shiver thinking about it. Hell, you were so doped up. You even thought those random blackouts were just the time you spent at work. As if I'd even let you waste your time with something like that. I can see you're still upset. Don't worry. We can go back to the way things were. You just have to accept it. Go screw yourself, a-hole! I told you not to talk to me like that. You said that you were used to this! I'm starting to think that you might need a little more sleep, love. Don't worry. I'll hold you while we're in bed. I grit my teeth, my whole body shaking with rage. You're gonna regret this, you crazy. Shh. The only thing crazy here is how much I love you, sweetie. Do you remember, at dinner, when I asked you if you loved me? You answered my question with a question of your own. You asked me if I doubted your feelings. You never did give me an answer. Now I want to hear it. Lionel, despite all these misunderstandings, do you love me? No! Despite the overwhelming terror, I mean his glassy, off-kilter gaze. I don't love you. I never loved you. The man I loved is dead. Even though he's gone, I'll never be yours. Stop talking about him. He grabs the knife on the table and walks towards me. Shaking with anger, he plunges it into the floor in front of me. the blade grazing against my bonds. Takuya drops to the floor, tracing the blade along my thighs. His breathing ragged and irregular. That guy is gone! I stabbed him 100 times! He's lying in a million little pieces in bags! He's nothing but meat now! So why won't you? As he screams tearfully into my face, I kicked out against the damaged rope around my legs. My foot slams into his face. Ah! Takuya falls backwards, dropping his knife. I barely catch it between my fingertips and work quickly to cut myself free. From the corner of my eyes, I see Takuya rising to his feet. I scramble towards the box of Seiji stings, grab the keys, and run. My hands shake so much that I can barely get the keys into the lock. As soon as I hear the lock click, I threw the door open and ran out into the street. I stumble several times, but manage to keep on running. I'm panting, my breath bearing in my lungs. As I emerge into the neighborhood, the streets are completely empty. Suddenly, something firmly grabs my arm. I try to scream, but all that comes out is a weak moan, just like, ah! Oh, Lionel, is that you? Oh my god, I thought it was Takuya. I recognize a familiar voice. When I turn around, I see it's one of my neighbors, a tall woman with a large dog sitting at her side. Where have you been, honey? Nobody's seen you in months? Did you move or something? Lately, I've seen this young man coming and going as if... Not now, we need to move, he's coming! Suddenly, the dog begins to growl. What's wrong, boy? A little ways off, a tall shadow detaches itself from the darkness of a high brick wall. I recognize him immediately. He's coming towards us. The dim glow of the streetlights glints off the edge of a kitchen knife. The hell is wrong with this guy? I'm too scared to speak or even move. Oh no. Takuya studies the both of us with a cold, detached smirk. Stay back, or my dog will make you regret it. Come on, Lionel. Let's get you back inside. You'll catch your death out here. I'm not coming with you, you murderer! I'm warning you now, kid. If you try any funny business, it's not gonna go well for you. You really hate me, don't you? Duh! I can see in your eyes. There's not a drop of love left in them. Why can't you love me? All I ever wanted is to give you everything. I worked so hard for you. How could I ever love someone who destroyed my life just so they could trap me in some dollhouse and drug me half to death? I wanted to build you a better life. It's all I could think about ever since the first day I saw you. You were crying on the bench, looking so scared and alone. Every tear I saw you shed felt like a shard of broken glass being stabbed into my heart. I knew I could make you happy, love. Take you away from all that stress, that pain, that loneliness. And I still know it, Lionel. Just take my hand. I'll walk you back home. And we'll find a way to put the pieces back together. Please. It's over, Takuya. There's no way we can ever be together again. Takuya opens his mouth to speak, but a shriek of police sirens cut through the air. Takuya's eyes dart in their direction, then back at me. With one last panic glance at me, he tears off into the night, running as fast as he can. The woman's dog bolts after him, but she grips the leash tightly enough to keep him still, barely. And then the police arrive. It's been almost a year since that whole incident took place. It feels strange looking back on those days. I moved as far away as I could and decided to start over. The horrible events I endured, they're all in the past now, but still, I can never forget him. I heard he was arrested a little while back. It doesn't comfort me as much as it should, though. Even if the real Takuya is locked up somewhere, the memories of him will always haunt me. He lives inside of my head, a permanent part of my being. A few days ago, I received a letter in the mail. There was no name and no return address. All that was written on there was this. The only thing my heart desires is for you to forgive me, Lionel. Oh, screw off, Takuya. Oh, man. True ending. Pass left. Well, holy heck. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys want to play this for yourself, link to the game is in the description below. I think I should probably wait for the credits to roll, but damn. Also, no, I'm not going to go back to play the other routes of this. If you guys want to do that, like I said, link to the game is in the description below, okay? You can go ahead and try them for yourself. Like, come on, guys. Like, I want the dev to get some downloads on the game. Like, heck, it means a lot to them, you know? Alright, that's all for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed this. well, link to all the fun stuff is in the description below, including Discord and all. We have fun over there. And heck, I hope you guys have a lovely rest of the day, and I'll be seeing you in the next video. This is Lionel, signing off. Ciao.